Hi, folks.
Making custom track streets is one of the hardest things to do by hand and one of the most expensive elements of your private house. Electric now maybe.
Hi, folks. Yeah, no affiliate link. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Tormach sponsors our YouTube channel, and I like keeping things. I've had a great long history with Tormach, and they basically don't tell us what to do. We get to kind of run our own show, and they sponsor our channel, which is great. So being having a commission situation, I mean, we could do it, but I don't. I like, you know, for some people, we want to be honest and keep our channel very organic about when and where it's a good fit and all that stuff. So it's a win-win. I'm going to let everybody kind of give a minute to join in here. I'm trying to watch the comments, but it'll be probably a little bit, I'm hoping there's a lot of folks on here, so there'll be a lot of questions coming in. Yeah, the point of this is really just a quick hello and to talk about that guy, which is not an 1100M, despite the stickers. It's not an 1100MX, and it's not a Series 3. It's kind of a hybrid of all of them. It looks most like an 1100M. The big difference is that machine behind me does have servos on it. It's also got an R8, though. We're obviously excited for the MX version that will have the BT30. But I just wanted to sort of get on here now that we can talk about this machine and see what questions you guys had. I know Tormach put a lot of information out over the last few days about what's happening with prices, with MX, and hopefully we can try to help get some questions answered as you guys think about what's coming. But also, we're going to keep this probably relatively short. Tormach is doing their own live stream this afternoon. I believe it's at 3 o'clock East Coast time, 2 o'clock their time. And excuse me, but they're going to be able to go more in depth. I think they're going to be doing some live demos of cutting, and they'll be able to answer more questions than probably than I will. Okay, I'm pasting the link in. It's on Facebook. All right, I'm not a big fan of waiting for everyone else to drag in. This will be live as well to watch later on YouTube. So what we're looking at is a prototype machine. I mentioned it a minute ago. It's not really, it's kind of a 1100 Series 3, an M, and an MX all kind of shoehorned together. This machine has an R8 spindle, 7,500 RPM, but it also has servos on it. So that, for me, one of the really, really cool things, first of all, it's so much better built. The enclosure, and I mean the little things around it. The doors are wonderful. The doors are a huge upgrade and a welcomed upgrade. The location of the coolant system, higher coolant pressure. We're planning on running flood coolant in this machine. The lights are great. If anyone has assembled a Tormach enclosure before, this will be a welcomed change. Jared and I put this one, I think actually Ed and I put this one together relatively easy, much quicker, really a great addition. And but for me, you know, it's what does it let you do? And for us, being able to have the smoother motion profile, it can run a lot faster. This machine is going to be able to go somewhere between 200 and 300, maybe even a little bit higher on feed rate. But what I love in the first test that I did was put a dial test indicator on and started doing motion control left and right and looking at how the dial moved on a tense indicator. And That is what gets me super excited. It was just such a really nice, smooth motion. And steppers, you do get a little bit of that jerk as it moves in between. And again, we've had a long history of really good success with what we've been able to do and make with our Tormach. So I'm always careful to make sure it's the carpenter, not the tools, but nevertheless, really nice. Yeah, those were my really quick kind of notes of what I wanted to make sure I mentioned. I will start paying attention now to the chat window and see what you guys want to hear about. Yep, best services. They moved the electronics to the back side, so it's got a key, a door. They've gotten rid of most, terminal lugs. So most things have push-pull connectors now, much more robust. It's always been nice cable management, and access again is from the rear. This will have flood coolant. They upgraded the pumps. It's got better flow rates. It's got better chip washdown. Knock on sheet metal should have much better seal around it so that flood coolant doesn't leak. Oh, quick thing on my face. I was switching out a kitchen sink this weekend and a pipe wrench was on a piece of plastic and plastic snapped and it hit me, so sorry. Okay, so that's another big change is USB connection to PathPilot. So Tormach has done something really cool, and they've sort of gotten rid of this need to buy a discrete, big, kind of expensive standalone computer. They've moved the, I'm gonna get over my head quickly here, but the FPGA card used to be in the computer. It's now in the machine. So Tormach will have a very small, one of those brick-style computers that will run PathPilot, and then via Ethernet push the signal out to the control card in the controller that actually does the frequency pulse generation. Yes, 1100Ms absolutely can be upgraded to MXs. Tormach will probably talk more about that on their live stream today. They are working out details on some of the MX stuff. That's one reason why, unfortunately, they don't have pricing yet, but they'll be readily upgradable. No, my wife did not do this because I got another machine. This one has servos. Sorry, I'm a little behind on the comments. BT30, yes, the ATC will support BT30. Controller, I believe, is in the M and MX as standard. I don't know the pricing detail. Maybe it's going to be possible to buy one without the little computer, but Tormach has done a really good job of streamlining some stuff before. So and when they pushed out that announcement and they said like $15,000 gets you cutting, they updated the blog post to clarify what that meant. But basically, that gets you the enclosure, power drawbar, the machine, a bunch of little stuff. I think basically it does not include the ATC, but just about everything else. No, I highly doubt through spindle coolant. A pretty big cost increase on the bearings, I believe. Yes, so Series 3, instead of going to Series 4, they're going to an M line. Have we made anything on this machine that we haven't on Series 3? What I want to do more of is surfacing. You're going to get much better acceleration and machine profile moves. Obviously, you've got another 1.5 inches, I think, of Y travel. That is really nice. You've got some more power. I'm excited for the BT30 because I think that'll give us some more rigidity. But I wouldn't say categorically this machine is going to make something that you couldn't make on a Series 3. The 2 to 300 should be, knock on wood, what you're able to cut at, but don't quote me on that. The machine behind me, someone's asking if they have ClearPath servos. The servos are not determined or decided yet, and I'm supposed to I want to make sure that's clear, but the machine behind me does have a ClearPath servo system on it. You want to see a rapid demo? We're not going to run this right now because of the live stream, but Tormach in 2 hours or 3 hours will be doing a live demo where they're going to be cutting and jogging and all that. The footprint of the unit, Tormach published the PDF of the dimension. I don't want to get up and put a tape measure on it because you won't be able to hear me. Oh, good question on the Washdown hose. I think that came up in conversation, but I'm not. Ours doesn't have it. I'll make a note of that though. Can we see the inside of the electronics enclosure? Yeah, sure. Hold on. Let's get through some other questions, and then I'll pick up my laptop and walk around the machine. What's my most favorite improvement? I mean, the two things: the idea of going to servos and a BT30, standardized tooling, tapered tooling. A taper is more conducive to an ATC alignment, and yeah, absolutely. I have a black eye from a plumbing accident this weekend, folks, not because I bought a new machine and my wife got upset. Yes, the Tormach blog pricing is ballpark similar to the education package. The idea, my comment on the pricing is it's good. Like, you're going to like it. They have had some price increases on materials and so forth, and the machine is more capable, but they've also valued engineered a number of things that you'll see when the pricing details come out. Rigid tapping will be nice. I mean, it'll be nice. It's not the most important upgrade to me. Spindle orientation, though, and that functionality is for sure nice. Horsepower on the coolant pump, I don't remember. Ask Tormach. They'll have that on their live chat today. It's more. The advantage of servos, for those that are unfamiliar, to me, so there's a lot of, you could debate this all day long. Steppers can be accurate, and the like is that people say, well, servos are closed loop or servos can make up. I mean, if you're going to make a motion control movement that's going to cause a stepper to lose steps, it's probably not going to be a good outcome, even if you have servos. Most often, because if you look at the way a PID loop works or how a motion control works, if you're going in a straight line and it binds up, it might be able to power through, but that's not how most cut profiles work. What I like about the servos is the smoothness of how they work. Is there a way to upgrade the Series 3 to the M? Let Tormach answer that. I think the answer is no, because it would just be too much work. By the time you did all the work, you'd be better off selling it and getting a new one. That is not what Tormach has done to date. My opinion, and look, I've got a bunch of Series 3 machines. My opinion is I'm glad that they're making the right changes going forward, and that will be a break in the upgradability, but I do think it's the right decision. Any idea how much more an MX is going to be than an M or Series 3 ballpark? I don't know. What little I know, I really can't say, but from what I've heard, you're going to like it. My opinion is the MX is going to outsell the M significantly. You guys can go look at what some of these style servos cost for 3 axes, and that'll give you some ballpark idea. A little bit more, but I'll put it this way. From what I've seen and learned, we'll end up trying to sell our machines long-term over the next 2 or 3 years to swap them out with the MXs, because the MXs are going to be awesome. Are there any casting changes to the mainframe? Yeah, the whole machine is a new casting, I believe. Will an existing 4th axis work? I believe so. Oh, that's right. So that's what they're going to do. I don't know if you can move a Series 3 to a proper M, but you can do some of the upgrades like servos, which would be what you really like. Any updates to the 440 mentioned in the future? I don't think. Ask Tormach on the live thing. I'm not aware. Everything I've been seeing about right now has been 770 and 1100. Thoughts on BT30 over TTS? I mean, yes. The tool holders will be most likely more expensive. TTS are pretty good pricing, but I'm excited for them. Yeah, sorry, folks. I don't have the footprint of the machine handy. It's published on the Tormach blog already, though, so you can grab the dimensions off that. Yes, we will be more interested in the tool changers now because it's BT30 and because the machine overall will be more capable. Thank you, Enda Murphy, for publishing some footprint info. It's the little things. When you walk up to this machine, you know, again, it's the doors, it's the lights, it's where you pull out the chip pan. Just it makes you happy. It's really nice. What's the difference between the M and the MX? Main difference is MX will have servos of some kind and a BT30 spindle, an encoder on that spindle to do rigid tapping. I can't think of what else there is. Those are the big things. And yes, the M's will be readily available. Excuse me, M's will be readily upgradable to MXs. I don't know. It's a good question. They also redesigned the spindle head. We have a defective one, for lack of a better term here, but let me go look at the spindle and the belts. It does look like you'll still have 2 belt ranges. I'll tell you this, we put ours in low belt about once a quarter, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a year. So not a big deal. Overall machine rigidity is absolutely improved, for sure. The weight of the machine, the cast iron, the base, the design, for sure improved. I don't know if the Series 3 will be upgraded to a BT30. Depends on the style of cartridge. And to do a BT30 tool change, you'll most likely need an encoder for orientation. But ask Tormach that. Am I keeping the machine behind me? I don't know. I don't know. I definitely want the BT30, so I'll either swap it out for that or we'll figure something out. Yeah, cast iron base. Is this comparable to a Haas mini mill? In my opinion, this has been like the target of a lot of conversations. My opinion is it is a wonderful comparison relative to the value. Machines like a Haas mini mill sitting on your floor are going to be, in my opinion, probably over 50 grand once you add tool holders, rigging, freight, 3-phase, and so forth. This machine I would buy, you know, with the ATC is probably going to be 20, but you're kind of done. You're making chips. You know, if the BT30 on the MX will have a power drawbar option, absolutely. Does it ship with the stand? The stand is not attached to the machine when it ships. No, it would be too heavy for a Tommy gate or lift gate. Yeah, some folks are commenting. I mean, if you go price out a mini mill the right way, it's a great machine, but it's 50, 60 grand. And my comment to that, we've talked about this before, is, you know, we own 2 Haas machines. We love them. I made a better decision behind my Haas when we were ready because of the Tormach experience, and a mini mill wasn't the Haas that I want. So if you view it as a stepping stone, if you think you're going to outgrow it and still keep it as a second op machine, or you could sell the Tormach, again, I would, mini mill isn't the Haas I would buy. You have to assemble this machine, Frankie, but way quicker, much easier to assemble. Is the enclosure standard on the M? I don't think it's standard. I don't know the pricing, and I got to be careful I don't comment on what I think is just my opinion, but I'll put it this way. The enclosure, I don't think the enclosure is going up in price, and I think you're going to like the answer. Yes, coolant and chip tray are standard with the stand. Okay, I'm gonna, at the risk of mucking this up, I'm going to try to walk around a little here, and we'll get a little bit closer. Going to sense as easily, folks. Yeah, the stand is much improved in my opinion. The y-axis is 11 inches now. Okay, so you can see here the chip pan is much nicer. They've got provisions, I think provisions for 2 coolant pumps, or a skimmer right in there, an easier chip hopper, and it's really just nice design. Here's a little shot inside the machine itself. And yeah, we'll shoot a better video eventually. Yeah, we'll shoot one better eventually. Let's see, I can sneak through here. And then here's the back side of the machine. Not the sexiest view, but what we got here. And there's a quick peek inside the electrical enclosure. How do you justify a Tormacher over an older VMC, assuming power and space aren't huge limitations? The cheaper a VMC is, meaning the closer it gets to a Tormach price, the older it is. And so you've got older technology or bigger risk of service issues. If you know what you're doing and you can repair these boards, and you can get access to the controller cards, that's fine. But if you can't, you know, I've got a friend right now who has a used VMC, 5,500 pounds, and he's got to pay someone to get rid of it because a circuit board, you can't get it for it anymore. And service calls and spindles can be thousands of dollars to fix. So there are some opportunities out there, but as a general rule, it's not a great path. Hi, Peter. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this up. But again, yeah, thank you. The older controllers, you can't run high-speed toolpaths on them. It's a real problem. It's not fun. Judd. Any other questions, folks, or things we can answer? Good work. Awesome. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed, folks. Have a great weekend. We will definitely be filming with this machine and sharing more about it. Yeah. Tormach is going to be on Facebook. So I'll post the link in here yet again. All right, folks, signing off. Take care. See you soon.